Greg Palast. I like Greg. Voter suppression worked. Greg Palast explains why Georgia governor race is headed to a legal battle. Journalist Greg Palast explains how the race between Democrat Stacey Abrams and Republican Brian Kemp will break down. Election day in Georgia was marred by long lines and technical difficulties. Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Kemp has refused to concede. And veteran journalist Greg Palast recently explained why she's right for doing that. The hidden story here in Georgia is the fight over the provisional ballot, something that didn't even exist until after the election was stolen in Florida in 2000. And he's right to use that verbiage, by the way. The election was stolen in 2000. The provisional ballots are if your name is missing from the rolls or there's an ID problem, you get this provisional ballot. You voted provisionally. Now what you fill out that provisional ballot, it's stuck in an envelope. They decide where that vote will be counted. And Stacey Abrams is insisting all those ballots be counted. And we know, people just assume that that's a thing. Like, people just assume that when they cast a provisional ballot, it may or may not be counted. And they just accept that. It happened at my place. I was at my polling place. Somebody was handed a provisional ballot. And this was a long-time voter. They were progressive. It was obvious in the way what they were wearing. They were a progressive person in what they were supporting. There was an environmental thing. They were handed a provisional ballot, and they're like, well, I know it might not be counted now. And the person said, oh, it'll be counted. And I said, and I didn't want to come down on that person. I know they were a poll worker volunteering their time. Or if they were compensated, I know it's not a lot. And I just said, I admire your optimism. I envy it. And the person said, well, I believe them. And I said, exactly. And then everyone stared at me awkwardly for a few minutes. But really, I mean, it's... So that's, in summary, what's going on in Georgia. She wants all those provisional ballots counted. And going back to the article here for a bit, one month ago, here I'll go back so you guys can see it. 1 month ago, journalist Greg Palast spoke to Salon about the rampant voter suppression in Georgia, in particular, how he had created a website that would help Georgia voters who had been purged from the rolls without their knowledge discover that this had happened. Later, Palast explained how he had learned that 340,000 voters, over 340,000, had been wrongly removed. Oh, and who removed them? Secretary of State Brian Kemp, who is also the Republican candidate for governor. Oh, wow. So the guy running against the other person just happened to accidentally remove some people from the voter rolls. Wonder who he removed. I wonder. I bet it was white Republicans, right? I bet that's who it was. It was just an accident. Wow. These are, as Noam Chomsky calls it, our pristine elections. Good for Stacey Abrams. Good for Greg Palast. Good for Stacey Abrams. I guess we'll just continue to watch this unfold.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and